New Jersey's a good team, like Winnipeg. They're a very strong team, and we were just a bit behind that game. But prior to that, I think we played pretty well.
Appreciate your time. Best of luck, Paul.
Thanks, Sean.
Great interview. All right, the Jets. Luke.
Scoring from everywhere. One of the reasons they're playing so well right now, you hear that term a lot, they come in waves, right? You try to have some sort of pushback, and just one line after another just continues to push you back. And you look at the production from top to bottom, this is pretty even all the way down. I understand the drops off a bit on the fourth line, but if you can have a third line like that with Lowry, Appleton, and Niederreiter contribute as much as they do with the amount they start in the D zone playing that side of it too, it's pretty impressive. Good to see some guys still going no bucket too, but a lot of that scoring coming from top to bottom for the Jets, Jen.
Well, and Luke, I think you look at great teams in the league, and Florida and the Winnipeg Jets are two of the top teams, and often you look at the mark to say, well, how good are they down the middle? And both of these two teams, you'll look at their top three centers on both rosters, very strong. And you look at the coaches, they're confident playing any one of these guys in a number of situations. Scheifele, probably one of the guys in the league that might deserve even a little bit more credit, has earned a tremendous amount of respect from his teammates. You can very much see the same thing for Barkov. If you sort of look at stats for these sort of top three on both sides, both three have combined for 17 goals for the Jets, 17 goals from these three. For the Panthers, 45 points, 44 points. So but I think you talk about that third line, I think that might be one of the most distinguishing factors on how much confidence they have in Lowry and Lundell. You've heard Maurice talk about Lundell, how he's evolved his games into a two-way center. So I think that's just probably one of their strongest points for these two rosters.
Paul Maurice mentioned how Winnipeg keeps bringing in the right player at the right time. And this is a clip kind of for you, Biz. I was watching when Tampa won 4-1 the other night, late in the second period, a game-saving save by Eric Comrie. Now, it doesn't save the game, but you see who's on the ice, 36, 54, 2, and 17. The guy who came off the bench to congratulate Eric Comrie on this game-saving save at the end of the second period wasn't one of those four. It was number 6, Colin Miller.
Yeah.
So they bring Miller in, and obviously you have history.
Yeah, I won a Calder Cup with him 10 years ago. There he is there on the bottom, and just an awesome offensive defenseman, bomb from the point. And this is his 6th team, so it's nice to see that he's found a landing spot. And we had Rick Bowness on TNT a few weeks ago, and he just said the group they have there is so bought into playing there, which in some cases isn't always the case in Winnipeg. And that's no disrespect there. It's hard for them to get free agents, but the fact they've built what they've built on having all the adversity of being in Winnipeg, it's kind of this us against the world mentality. They've put everything from last year behind them, and they've came in and they've demonstrated they're one of the top teams in the league. So it's very impressive from top to bottom.
It's going to be a great marquee matchup. Sportsnet West. Sportsnet 1 is where we'll find the game in Raleigh tonight, and we want to tee that one up. Tim Stützle, 98 goals, 2 away from 100. He spoke to Faisal Kamisa.
Tim, I know the message this year for the team is about trying to stay consistent night in and night out. So what's the game plan against a good team following a tough one against the Flyers?
Yeah, I think they're a great team. I mean, obviously we wanted that one back the other night, but we just got to stick to our game plan, keep playing the way we've been playing, and believe in ourselves. I think that's going to be a good game.
You've added a more complete element to your game this year, a lot more defensive play to go on top of the offense. How have you managed to balance it without sacrificing the points?
Yeah, I mean, I think you just learn every year coming to the league that you play against great players out there, and if you don't play defensively, then, yeah, you're going to lose most of the night. So I think it's our whole group. We stick to the game plan, play good defensively, and we're going to get our chances.
Thanks, Tim.
Thank you.
Faisal, the Shiners come a long way in 48 hours. Amazing. Time now for Line Change, presented by Sports Interaction Sportsbook and Casinos' exclusive homegrown bet of the night. The bet of the night focuses on the Senators and the Hurricanes. Over 2.5 shots from both Martin Necas and Tim Stützle, and a Senators victory. Those three together pays plus 700. Biz.
I'm joining the Sens Nations cult right here. I love it right now. I love the Ottawa Senators. And a little nugget for you guys before you play city bets. 30, 15, and 4 when they got Stützle, Norris, and Pinto Parlay all in the lineup together.
I got a question for you. Is that a minor or a major that
Don't worry about it. Just worry about your giving out your bets, buddy.
340 career penalty minutes. You're now up to at least 342. David Perron back in the lineup tonight, and you heard Stützle say that was a bad loss the other night, Luke.
Yeah, was it ever? And it's nice to see Perzy back, though. A little bit of a family thing going on, and he's had to take some time off. Nice to see he'll be rejoining them.
Can't believe his nickname is Perzy.
It's a real original, hey? But seriously, a tough one Thursday in a game that really they needed a must-win. John Tortorella talked about how this is the NHL. Sometimes you can outplay them, but I feel like they wanted some more saves, but it wasn't just become of that. Here's a pinch on the weak side coming back around, up a goal with 7 left in the game by Clevin. There's no backside help from the F3, so they're putting him in a position like this on a 2-on-1, 7 left in the game, and here we go into overtime. And they just kind of get standing around a little bit. Here's Mitchkov, finds the lane, and yes, you want to save there, but I don't think they necessarily put Ullmark in the greatest position to even get there in the first place, Reach.
All right. Blink and you'll miss it tonight. Nathan MacKinnon, the most speed burst in the league, but Luke, numbers 2 and 3 in this one.
Yeah, and for reference, I don't think me and Biz have even skated over 20 miles an hour in our careers. We're going to take a look at Natchez first, who's on an absolute tear this year, 25 and 15 to start the year. He is much on the crossovers, the explosion through the crossovers. That's how he gains a lot of his speed, beating defenders wide, shielding that puck. He's a big guy, 6'3". Stützle a little more straight down the pipe, a little more straight line skating here. You can see how long the stride gets, and you gotta love the hustle here, beating Barkov down the ice for the empty netter. 2 away, like you said, from 200. Maybe he gets it tonight.
And one last nugget, 0 dives this season for Stützle. So Ottawa Senators fans, I got you. I'm backing you up on Sportsnet tonight. I'm drinking the juice. I am drinking the juice.
In an hour, you'll be killing them. Ron?
Right, excellent, you three. Tonight's money line for our early game sees the Oilers as the lone road favorite in Toronto. Scan the QR code to find up to the second odds on Canada's homegrown sportsbook and casino sports interaction. When we come back, Connor McDavid rolls into Toronto. I remember when Gretzky came in 1982. There was 130 seats that they demanded. Normally a team has 50. We have a chance to go to Montreal next. Let's check in on the Columbus Blue Jackets. This will be on City TV and Sportsnet East, and Sean McKenzie has a preview.
Yeah, Ron, and with just 1 win in their last 8 games, it has been a tough stretch for the Montreal Canadiens as they continue to deal with what a lot of young rebuilding teams in the NHL deal with. That's keeping the puck out of their own net. The Habs, on average, are giving up 4 goals per game, which is the worst in the NHL. The Habs and Martin St. Louis, though, aren't panicking. St. Louis spoke to us today and said, these are just the growing pains of a team that is trying to learn how to win, and you go through these pains in year 2 or 3 of the rebuild, so you don't have to end up having a 7 or 8 year rebuild. That is the bad news. The good news for the Montreal Canadiens is that every single time in the last couple of years they play the Columbus Blue Jackets, they are world beaters. 5-0-0, 22 goals for, just 8 goals against. We'll see if that trend continues. And one thing to keep an eye on, though, no David Savard in warm-up. He spoke to the media, so we'll have to wait and see what that is all about, Ron.
Some rumors about trades involving that great defenseman. We'll see. Elliot, you're on that one? Got it? Okay. Connor McDavid, as mentioned, he rolls in. He's got to have 30-plus tickets for the game at Scotiabank Arena. Number 97 next.
The GMC Sierra AT4X. The peak of premium off-roading.
Men's clothing provided by Jack Victor.
Now tries Sutton. David 2-on-1 from Benson across. Fire score! 1,000! Great pass. A player for the ages.
So just a magical, the points, the reaction, the interviews. You know, kids these days, they all want an instant promotion, 1,000 points, 4th fastest, 4th youngest. You got to have it all, right, Connor? Hey, congrats. Right. Well, I'll let Luke ask the first question for you.
Yeah, congrats, man. Good to see you. Now that it's all over and done with, you were absolutely buzzing in that first. Did you just want to get it over with quick?
Yeah, as I said, my dad flew in for the game, so not getting it wasn't an option. Trying to get it over with as quick as possible. But yeah, you know, special night. Just to see the reaction of the fans, the players, everybody. It really, really meant a lot to me.
Connor, Biz here. Obviously, congrats on the milestone. And my question was more directed at your support system and more importantly, your parents, Brian and Kelly. I know your father was there. And just, you know, how important have they been throughout this journey in your hockey career and all the support they've provided you throughout the years?
I mean, what can you really say? You know, both of them have been been there from the very start. You know, my dad and I maybe have a little bit more of a hockey relationship, talking about more specific things. But you know, my mom's always worried about, you know, away from the rink, you know, how I'm doing. So you know, both of them, I love them so much, and so grateful for both of them.
And Connor, your team's had 3 wins in a row. It's always a big game for you in Toronto, and a presence around you this morning. How do you embrace that, and what is the key focus for tonight's game?
It's exciting. You know, hockey night in Canada, Saturday night in Toronto. You know, I grew up watching this every weekend, so you know, no better time to have a good one than on a night like tonight in front of lots of friends and family. What's the key? I mean, Toronto's a great team. You know, their back end's been playing really well. Obviously, they're missing Austin tonight, but you know, they got great forwards, and it'll be a great challenge for our group tonight.
Connor, I have one observation first. You get to 1,001 points. The next out of your draft class, the next highest scorer is a guy we respect to the nth, and that's Mitch Marner. It's at 661. So that in itself speaks to how great your achievement is. I would like to ask you about when you signed your first big contract and thought about what you'd have to do to live up to. Gretzky always said it's hard to play for money. So when you said teammates, watching them react the other night, just what it's like to have that pressure and to have actually lived up to that.
Yeah, I still got a couple things to check off the list. You know, it's you know, it's a milestone, but you know, there's lots.
And to have actually lived up to that.
Yeah, I still got a couple things to check off the list. You know, it's you know, it's a milestone, but you know, there's lots left. You know, I'm a young guy and got lots of things that I want to do, but you know, certainly there's lots of pressure coming into the league. But for me, I was just wanted to play. I wanted to play the game that I knew, the game that I loved, and you know, the pressure. You know, you said playing for money, none of that stuff mattered. Playing for the fans, none of that mattered. It was just playing the game that that I love and enjoy on a daily basis, and still do to this day.
Joy to watch. Good luck tonight.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks to Connor McDavid. Hockey Central presented by Sports Interaction, Canada's homegrown sports pick. UFC 309 next.